Hey everybody, it's Maggie Mulhern. We are here in New York City at the Eva Scrivo salon, and I have the most incredible balayage. Eva Scrivo, as many of you know, does my hair. She's my buddy as well. She's a really good friend, but she is the princess of balayage, and every time we're sitting in her chair, we start chatting, and I said to her, I said, Eva, how do you pick the board you use? She's very specific about the tools that she uses for balayage. I only have her for 5 minutes, so we're going to flip her around. I'm going to flip this around so that you can ask her. She's going to show you the board that she uses and talk about boards in general. So we are, just so you know, we're in her pedicure room because there's so much action in the front of the salon that I dragged her back here for some privacy. So flipping this around. Hold on, there's Eva back there. Eva Scrivo.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Nice
And she is the founder of the Eva Scrivo Academy in New York City.
Yes.
And let's just point that out right. I know you have
Thank
another
you.
class March 7th.
Yes, we have a correction color class coming up March 7th.
And just for that, it's all about balayage and color correction, and these are the best classes. They're petite and they're intimate, and I know you have 3 spots left, so I just wanted to let you know. Yes, she is beautiful. Yes, she is.
Thank you.
Okay, so you just got a proposal, Eva. All right, so tell us about.
I'm already married.
So let's talk about the balayage board.
Okay, so here we have a typical balayage board, and you see these all over the industry. They're basically black. They're plastic. They're pretty hard. They have a larger handle for a good grip, but you know, for women, who, and 90% of hairdressers are all women, by the way, it really is best to work with a board that has a little bit of a finer, smaller handle. Now, you're going to see the difference of these 2 boards. This is pretty much everything that's on the market, and this is a board that I've found that has a few good qualities. One, it's bendable, so it's very malleable, and it can work really well when you're working on a whole head of highlights. It has a more narrow handle here, so it's easier for a woman to hold, especially if you have small hands. And it also has a really nice texture. Now, this texture on this board versus a board that is just plain plastic is very important for a few reasons. One being that it holds the bleach. So the little tiny perforation that you see here, this texture holds the bleach and holds the product so that you can paint the hair effectively, and it can be a better palette overall. It also holds the hair and hugs the hair when you're painting individual pieces using the balayage method. And you know, we have about 5 signature pieces and or sections that we teach here at the Academy. So whether it's a small piece or whether it's a large piece of hair, that little bit of texture is going to hold the hair in place and give you a nice foundation to paint on, because it really is about tension. Whether you're cutting the hair, whether you're coloring the hair, it's about getting that correct tension with your hand and having the board able to support it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, somebody's asking you out to dinner. So
hairdressers go there really fast when we do this.
So talk about the bend. Somebody was asking about the bend
Yes.
in the board. Like,
So,
is that important to you?
You can see that the basic balayage boards, you know, there really isn't a lot of flexibility to this. Now, the ones that I have found, this has a really nice bend, and you can also see that the handle bends, and you know, you do get tired over time. You know, it takes a lot of effort to paint, and I find it to be more exhausting than doing foils, actually, strangely enough. But just having that smaller handle for my hand size, for a female hand, it is much easier, and you don't get as fatigued. For people that have carpal tunnel and issues holding the hair for extended periods of time, your comfort is really important. So working with the proper brushes, the right tools, and of course, most importantly, the right bleach. Silk Lift by Goldwell is my all-time favorite. It has a great consistency, and if you find that it's drying out a little bit, just don't hesitate to add a little bit more of the silk drops or add a little bit peroxide to keep that consistency really creamy. The better and creamier the consistency, the more beautiful your highlight's going to be.
Okay, yeah, you're not done so quickly here. So, someone was asking about the width of the board and the length of the board.
Okay,
because there are other ones out there. So why do you prefer this width and length?
So you want to look for the width of this to be between 3.5 to 4.5 inches. Size matters. We all know that. So a lot of the boards will be 2 inches wide. That is not going to do it. That's okay if you're doing, very small sectioning around the face frame, or you have very short hair. But the majority of hair that you're balayaging, you need this width. Now you can also see this has a very interesting dip right here. It also fits the round sphere-like shape of one's head. So you can actually get very close in your painting if need be, but that little bit of bend right here is actually a better curvature than the typical standard blackboards that you see out there. So that bend is also a better shape for the head shape.
Okay.
This board is an old board by L'Oreal. This is actually a discontinued board, but there are many products on the market. Goldwell boards are beautiful. You can find some of these old ones if possible, but look around, look with your distributor and see which one has these attributes. So we're looking for a smaller handle, 3 to 4 inches, bendability, and the actual nice texture that you see here, which holds the hair and holds the product.
Well, thank you, Eva. I know you have a client, and it's Eva Scrivo in New York City is the salon, the best place for balayage and hair color, and the Eva Scrivo Academy. Classes in March, and then when's the next? What do you have after that?
We have classes throughout the year, so go to the website. And what's great about these classes, it's not only learning how to get bright, clear blondes, but it also allows you to learn quick savers and easy tips on how to overall color correct using balayage. Because sometimes when you leap into a color correction with a bunch of foils and bleach and different low lights and highlights to stabilize, you can cut your time in half by just doing a simple light balayage, and it kind of has a nice evening effect. So we teach a lot of color correction at our classes and overall time savers. So I look forward to meeting you.
Eva Scrivo, we love you. Thank you
Love
so
you,
much.
Maggie.
Okay, bye-bye.